Hey everyone, so today I will be sharing with you the top 10 most useless inventions of all time. It just takes some time, little girl, in a little out the right. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be alright. Let's get started. Useless invention number 1. Issued in 1862, the combined plow and gun. Now what this meant is that you could plow with your plower in your field, and if suddenly you were being attacked, you just bring up your plow and you could shoot them with it. Sounds logical to me, right? Number 2. Issued in 1882, the first alarm clock, sort of. So I guess after roosters weren't a big enough wake-up call, they would hang weights over the sleeping person's head and drop them on them. I'm not sure why they didn't just use a person to wake them up, because a person had to be there to drop the weights. So I'm not really sure how that worked out. But apparently the weights were not supposed to be heavy enough to kill the person, just to wake them up. Or possibly knock them out, which is counterproductive, if you know what I'm saying. Invention number 3. Issued in 1887, the balloon propelled by eagles or vultures. So I guess you could just capture a eagle or vulture and tie this balloon to it with a sack of stuff you wanted it to carry, and then you would say, "Hey, fly east," and then they would fly east and carry your stuff for you. And no, it wasn't of concern that they would peck a hole in the balloon or not actually reach the destination. Not a question. Number 4. Issued in 1903, a method of preserving the dead in a glass box. So I guess they would put the dead person, all dressed nice and fancy, in a glass box and preserve them as if they were still alive, but more of like a wax figure, thinking that this was a respectful way to keep them around instead of putting them 6 feet under. Invention number 5. Issued in 1912 by Fritz Balschwicks, the mustache and lip guard. So it was a big problem if you were a man and you had a mustache and it got wet while you were drinking some sort of drink. So he invented this kind of paper disc to go over your cut piece so that it wouldn't get your mustache wet, which is very unattractive. I hate a wet mustache. Invention number 6. Issued in 1988 by James Monroe, the water-filled brassiere. So I guess women were looking for a better way to fill up their breasts, no pun intended, and they thought that this water bra was going to be the best thing for that. It would lift and support with water, but careful not to run into a sharp corner, just because it could get very wet. Invention number 7. Issued in 1989 by Mira and Frank Fergone, the scream muffler. So I guess if you were really, really angry and you didn't want anyone to know, like let's say you just made a really terrible business deal and you were mad about it, but you couldn't let your partners know, so you would go into your office and get your sound muffler and scream into it, but no one would hear you, not the secretary, not your boss, not your co-workers, because you got the sound muffler. Invention number 8. Issued in 1990, Terry King's glove for courting. So let's say you're walking down the street with your beloved and you want to hold hands, but just the mere touch of glove-on-glove grasp is not good enough for you. Well, he invented this glove that fits 2 hands, and then your palms can still be touching like that, because, you know, this gloved hands is not enough contact right there, so you can make sure to fill that palm of your left hand. Invention number 9. Issued in 1995 by Nicole DeBruce and Springfield Susan, the alarm-equipped fork. So I guess this is for people who want to make sure they chew their food properly because they're eating really fast and they don't want to choke and die, so you scoop it up with the fork and you put it in your mouth, and then you press a little timer, and then the timer is like, okay, keep chewing, and then when the beeper thing goes off, then you can swallow, because you can't do that just with your brain. And finally, last but not least, invention number 10. Issued in 1993 by British inventor Michael Bailey, the trouser cushion. Yes, people, it's exactly what you heard. It's a cushion that can fit on your trousers. So, in your pant loops or your belt, and when you need to sit down, it's right there. So, what's more convenient than that? I don't really know. And that's all we have time for today, folks. See you next time. Bye. Issued in 1912 by Fritz Bolschwitz. I can't say that name with a straight face, I'm sorry.